Hey.
Yes. Crack the music down.
There's somebody on the screen.
Oh, what you saying, man? Got it old.
Yeah, I was on my computer. I just turned around and there's a lady there. I'm like, who's that?
I got the old Curtis Brown look going on, man. Here, look at this. Curtis Brown, man.
Man, you didn't tell me what's going on YouTube again, man.
Oh, it's on YouTube, man. That's it. We're live.
Hey, this is live. I was going to do my hair, man, and I'm smarting up myself.
I wanted to catch you off guard. I wanted to catch you off guard today. I'm sorry.
Anyway.
Welcome to Blackopolypse. We got Latrese, Monique,
yes.
Campbell in the house.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
A Campbell. Hey, Campbell.
And we got Nigel Campbell.
Hi.
Campbell's rule world.
We do.
Yeah, girl.
Yeah, we do.
Bedrooms, man. Long time bedrooms from way back when.
Really? You guys know each other right there. Campbell. Actually, it's funny. I got two Campbells. The thing is, I'm actually related to Nigel Campbell. Funnily enough, but we don't share.
Oh.
Where's my brother? My papa was a Rolling Stone, and where he laid his hat was where he slept.
Mine was too. My papa was Rolling too.
Wow. You know, actually, I got into a discussion.
There's a few of us.
Yeah, I got into a discussion this week with a chick, and she was trying to say like all black men are kind of like we're not faithful and stuff, and I was kind of offended by that, actually. I don't know why, but, you know, obviously if you check the past, we was used as, we was bearing kids, and they used us to breed kids, black men. So I don't know if that's something that kind of carried on. But
they do say it stayed in the DNA.
Yeah.
In terms of, you know, if you've got a whole, not even one generation, but a whole race of people who have been treated a certain way, over and over again, it becomes a normality. You'd have fathers telling their kids, "Hey, if you're lucky, the master might make you breed up some women." So they think, "Yeah, that's a good thing." So, but that's the thing. It's that mentality, like you said about the breeding. But most certainly when it carried on, though, it carried on in the smaller islands, like Jamaica. You know, when you know, if Dad could tell you some of the stories, and I mean, even my mum, you know, when she came to England, she didn't come with her dad. She was left in Jamaica and then was sent for.
Yeah, that's the same as.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So it's a generational thing where it was almost became part of our sub psyche, and I think to a degree we've allowed it to carry on with the glamorization of the same thing within that kind of culture. Because if you look at the music and the rap, and that's all about, yeah, man, gallon, hold it for gallon, I've got money, and the gal's hanging off me. You know what I mean? It's like, well, hold on a minute. Where is that kind of saying, yeah, black men are going to treat women with respect? Well, I think you'll find out now that we've moved on a lot. We have moved on a lot. And the thing is, you don't see, reason you don't know is because you don't see a black man who's looking after his the things the way he should. You ain't going to see him on the road. You're going to see him partying. He's like, his wife and his family is chilling out. So it's a myth, man. It's a myth that's been kind of put into us. And, you know, it'll take another 300 years for it to come out of us, I think, for some of us, you know what I mean? So,
will it take that long? Will it take a few hundred years for it to come out?
Why? Well, you know something, it might not, you know, because I think if you look at the changes that have taken place in the last, even the last 6 months in terms of the psyche of the world and the way that people are talking to each other about things they wouldn't normally talk about, like, have you experienced racism? Yes, I have. Oh, really? Yeah. I never thought. Yeah. I used to be young once, you know. Yeah. And the conversations that we're having, and I think black men as well as a people, we are finally becoming more aware, emotionally aware of ourselves and how to communicate. Because I think it's not just black men. I think men in general, we have a failing where it's like, boy, I can't really tell my woman how I'm feeling because, you know,
scared.
You just shut up and you just vex. Then you stay vexed, don't you? So you don't say nothing, and then that doesn't actually improve anything. How can someone learn from someone, and how can you modify behaviour and even find a way of being in tune if you don't communicate? And it's the biggest failure for all relationships, not just man and wife, you know, man and man, woman and woman, mom and dad. Mom and kids, communication, man, and I think it's something that should be embedded in us from an early age.
I think communication, learning communication, because a lot of what we call communication is not. it's sharing information, but it's not receiving information or understanding the information that you receive. So I think that is important. That's actually where I am in all of my relationships, improving my communication. But I am curious. I don't see your name.
My name's not.
No, I see your name, Nigel, but
Alstallio, yeah. Alstallio. You call me Wayne.
Alstallio. So I am curious why you were offended. What was offensive about her comment?
Yeah, because like she was generalizing the whole. Can you hear me? Yeah, she's generalizing the whole like race of people, saying that all black men don't. And I know. Okay, let's be fair. We are dogs.
No. Listen, wait. I'm going to say one thing to you. Sorry, Miss Campbell. I've got your first name already, but Wayne, you're the worst generalizer out of all of them, man. You're the one, man. You tie a whole world with a brush, man. You can't be offended when someone kicks you back in the generalization and go, oh, I'm really upset. You're the worst generalizer. How many times do I have to say to you, stop generalizing? On this very one show.
It's not even that. Don't be sad. I also feel like I know black guys who look after their, their family and stuff. I know them, and that's why I'll be like, actually, a lot of black guys I know look after their family. Like, okay, I'm a little bit different from that. I admit to being one of the guys who's a little bit, messes around a bit. But with everyone knowing, all parties involved. But there's
I'm sorry to interrupt, but looking after your family isn't the same thing as being faithful. I think, separating faithful men from men who are responsible, is important. But you may not have a family and you can still choose to be, monogamous and faithful.
Yeah. It's true, actually. It's true.
That's the videos that's coming out this week. I did a video, I went around in the city. I think Nigel knows about it. I was asking people about polygamy and monogamy. Mm-hmm. And there was some really interesting replies towards it, and it seems. Like
Is it in German?
I'm just finishing off with the subtitles, so you can see it in English too.
Okay, that'd be interesting to see.
Interesting what a lot of the women and the partners were saying, and that's why I'm like, a lot of people are open to it, but then the moment you say, yeah, well, I do it, it's like everyone looks at it like, oh my God.
I suppose if you think of the way that society is, though, it is based around foundation, which tends to be religion, which religion does dictate about what marriage should be and what a relationship should be. And I think that disdain that you get isn't disdain of, I think it's more kind of like, wow, you're going against society's norms. Mm-hmm. You're going against what the status quo says is supposed to be the status quo. So I think you'll find it's more a little bit of shock as well about, this guy's doing this thing, man. Like, bit of envy. You know what I mean? But I think the thing is, what you got to remember, Wayne, is that anybody who isn't black and sees a media message which tells them a narrative, then they are only going to see that narrative. Let's turn this world on its head. Let's say that it's black people who run things. We have all the money. We have a man called Rastaman Sachs, who runs all the banks. And we see, every time we watch TV, we see images of white men and they're singing their raps like, yeah, man, gal this, gal that, gal this, gal that. You know what I mean? What is our perception of them going to be? It's going to be, boy, all them white guys, all they're doing, they mess around with women, they do this, they do that. So it's what you see, it's what's in front of you. So this girl, unfortunately, isn't educated enough because she hasn't seen enough of the world to be able to make a proper, balanced statement about black men. She can only do it based on what she sees, and that's the reality of the world. People only know what the square box tells them. Oh, the square box tells me that the sun's going down at 3:30 this afternoon, so I'm going to go to my bed because the square box told me that. And that's the reality of the world. We are force-fed media. And sometimes I envy some of these, these other countries where they say, oh, no, you can't watch TV for more than 1 hour a day and they turn off the electricity and all them things. You know what them people do that we don't do? They talk to each other.
Yeah. Or read books and You know what I mean? Expand their mind.
They go, oh, darling, how was your day? No, how was your day? I don't want to hear that it was fine. How was it?
Yeah.
They sit back and they go, yeah, man, let's listen. But unfortunately, we're in the Western world. We're told that we have to watch the square box. We have to fill up our time with all kinds of nonsense. And then we have to be little worker ants and pay tax. Oh, Lord. Sorry, Mrs. Campbell. Sorry.
No, I'm totally agreeing up to this point.
Right, cool, awesome. Anyway, we got our guest on, man. Let's talk to our guest for a little bit because actually she didn't really send me a biography or anything. I didn't even ask her. I think it was kind of like one of those things where we just like,
wait, we never got no biography, man.
Well, we'll get one after. Anyway, we got
to prep, man. We got to know who we're speaking to.
We're speaking to Miss Campbell, Monique Campbell.
Miss Campbell, yeah.
How are you?
Yeah, Latrese Monique Campbell. Yeah,
very nice.
Latrese.
Very eloquent. So where are you from anyway? I think maybe I've got some details, but I forgot, man. So you have to tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland, born and raised. The east side of Baltimore, to be specific.
Okay.
What else? I'm divorced, single mom. I have 6 children.
You got 6? My mom had 7, actually. There's 7 of us.
6 babies, man.
6.
They'll keep you young forever, you know.
Oh, is she? Oh, where's she gone? Latrese, we've lost you. We want you back, though. We want you back. I want you back. Hopefully she'll jump back in. Remember with a couple of weeks back with Sandra Gore when a stream kept going off and stuff.
She's frozen.
Yeah, she's frozen. But she's going to join back in a minute. Yeah, here she is. Hello. Welcome to Blackopolypse. We are waiting for you to engage in conversation. What happened to my
intro music, man? You got the music going on and I can't even sing or nothing, man. What's going on there?
Music rotates now when we're live. You know, the music's kind of like just going, isn't it?
Yeah, but I can't say my words, man.
Next week we'll do pre-recorded. Latrese, carry on. I was saying to you basically that I've got 7 siblings. My mom had 7.
Oh wow! Okay.
And I said 6 kids. That's going to keep you young, girl.
Or insane. Either one.
I got 3. I got 3, and they keep me on my toes. Believe me, but I can't imagine what it's like with 6 because, like, I'm about to walk out of my house because of the 3 kids. So 6.
Yeah.
I'll be gone already, man.
I would imagine your house is full of joy. I imagine it is full of more laugh. Yeah, but I mean, both of you. I mean, when I came to your house, Wayne, back when we kind of got back together, I loved the fact that all that energy was in that one building. Yeah. You could hear laughter in one room, laughter in another room, and the actual energy that comes from having so many people around you. And I think, sort of blessed, man. You're blessed.
Yeah.
How old's the youngest?
My youngest, he's 11. And he's the only boy. So there's 5 girls and then 1 boy. Yeah.
Kind of almost the same as my family because there's only 2. Wow.
Oh Lord! But does he get babied as the youngest?
He's a horrible brat. Yeah.
Okay then. Yeah, them girls have taught him too well.
Yeah, but he's an amazing son. Yeah.
So you was it like basically like you was trying to have like a boy?
Yes.
We're gonna just try one more, man. We're gonna try one more, baby. One more. We're gonna get that son.
That's exactly how it happened. And then unfortunately, after we had our son, we figured out we couldn't do it together anymore. And
it is like that, you know. Like I mean, it sounds weird, but I can tell you the strain that has on my because I'm married, obviously, and I got 3 kids. I'm still with the wife, and I love it to bits. But I'll tell you what, the strain these 3 kids I had on our relationship, I can't imagine. Like I said, we won't be having another one. There will be no more. Really, I've chopped it off now. I mean, you see it on top of my fireplace.
I mean,
the glass.
My kids are grown up now. I mean, I got 2 big old hairy-toed adults. You know what I mean? A girl and a boy. 27, 28 in January, 27, and I think what happens and I've seen it happen many times, is when babies come along, I think what you got to think is when a man and a woman first get together, everything's sweet. They go out every week and they dance and they boogie down. But then the baby comes and it's like, I can't come out tonight. A man's thinking, well, hold on a second, where's my woman gone? Because their baby takes the focus
Yeah.
And you see it happen. You see that the men, even though they are part of the family unit, they almost feel marginalised.
Well, outside of it, we're outside of the relationship.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, because the relationship that a mum has with the baby, most certainly, a man can't replace that. A man can't nurture and give the baby what the baby needs. And if I find a man who will get up in the morning and do all them things every night and make his woman sleep, then I will give that man money. So women are on a different level. They are just built to be able to do this. This is something that's inherent. But I do think that men then become almost, whoa, I'm over here and she's over there. Sometimes the mum decides, well, I ain't got to look good no more because hey, we're married and everything's happy. And I ain't doing my nails and my armpit hair is going to grow. And
you don't have time, though, man.
You've explained why we divorced in 30 seconds.
I'm not saying you did that. I'm just saying that I think that couples they forget the very reason why they came together, and they came together because at some point the communication was right. Everything else was right. And I know it's not all down to partying, but even the moments where you just have you and that other with no crying, or I want your attention, mom. Those are special moments, which I think kids, and I love kids. Would I have more? No. But I think kids come along and unfortunately that balance gets broken. And I don't think, it's very hard for people to balance it right. And to, even these things like having a date night, even making that effort to do that sometimes can be too much because you got kids, you're doing all your stuff all day, you got work, you come home, you got to fix everything up, then you want to cook, and the husband wants food, and then you want to go out. I don't think so. My feet are soaking today, man. My nails are being done. I'm sitting right back, and but the man will be sitting there going, Well, I wanted to do things better. You know what I mean? So it's hard, man.
I think hard. What you said, communication is key because really when the relationship dynamic changes, if you don't know how to communicate your new needs within that relationship, to have them met and communicate them in a way that's not nagging or disruptive, then it's difficult. And without, usually families have, a community that can support that. And you might have somebody who can get in and get involved. Yeah. But, communication. I mean, I think that's what we talked about in the beginning, and it is key and vital to healthy relationships.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I think you made a point there without being nasty about it. And I think that's where, when I said about emotional intelligence and men being able to communicate better, because the go-to default thing when a man's upset is to go, blah, 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 noise, go on all like this, start shaking their shoulders and making noise and huffing and puffing and slamming. Where the reality is, when you light fire and put fire in front of someone's face, chances are you're going to get fire back. Yeah. And it's a switch. It's something in the Bible. I ain't religious, by the way, but there's something in the Bible. What you say becomes true. So if you start with a negative, then you're going to get negative back. Yeah. If you start from a point of, I'd like us to have a conversation and let's, I'm going to try and keep on a level, but this is how I feel. Straight away, you've taken the sting out. You've taken the power out of anything that follows, because that person then is like, let's listen, as opposed to, man, I'm not happy, or being vexed and then making it into a big psh, and everything then comes out in one big volcano. So it's hard, man. We all, everyone goes through it. But you still got 6 beautiful babies.
Of course, yes.
So you won.
No losses. Yeah, no losses there. All wins. Yeah, all wins.
Hope your husband's not watching this. Like, what do I mean she won? You didn't win nothing, man.
I'll show it to him. If he's not watching, I'll make sure.
Sorry, Willie. I didn't mean it, man. I didn't mean any offense or anything like that.
Willie? Did you just call him Willie?
His name's Willie, isn't it? What's his name?
Antoine.
Where did I get Willie from?
Everyone's named Willie, innit? Everyone's got an uncle Willie.
Willie, I mean Anton, I'm sorry for you. Oh God, I'm shutting up now.
Anyway, carry on. So you got 6 children. You was married, you was divorced. What's your basically background? Are you a teacher? I've got a lot of teachers.
No, my primary background is like customer service. So right now I'm an office manager for a public relations firm in DC. Okay. But service it's natural to me. So I thrive in roles like that, helping people get things done, meet their needs. I'm that person. I love to help. Yeah, okay. I'm a helper.
Fantastic,
cool, man.
fantastic,
I mean,
fantastic. Do you do any? Have you got a side hustle? Do you do any other?
I've been trying to do so many things, but with life and being busy, I haven't fulfilled my personal goals and dreams. It's usually just like staying on that wheel and keeping everybody else afloat. But that was the gift of 2020. So 2020 gave me that gift of just refocusing and getting real clear on what I want. And which is why I agreed for this podcast. Actually, podcasting is something that I would love to do. I think conversations are like pivotal. They're key. Not just having them, but listening in on them. I think they can open a world for people, change mindsets. So conversations to me are like, why aren't we talking more about everything?
Because Texas has taken over. Texas taking over. So basically, this is like a way of us to reconnect with each other. Because now we're fighting against WhatsApp, we're fighting against like Facebook Messenger. And we're gonna be like, oh, yeah. Even now, it's not even text anymore. Soon it's gonna be GIFs. Just gonna say pictures and know exactly what they're talking about. We like we're going back to the the hieroglyphs, back into the Egyptian acrylic and stuff. That's where we're going back, man. Back to. It's amazing. So
So have you made a start? Have you made a start on your podcast journey yet?
No. I've read about it, thought about it, dreamed about it.
Trying to figure out a topic.
But I haven't done anything about it.
Girlfriend, you're on the wrong podcast there because I'm going to give you some motivation right now.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
what 2020 should have proved to everybody or anybody who is watching and listening is that the world is a place that spins at its own pace. So all these kind of, I remember 20 years ago, you're thinking, yeah, man, I got a dream. I'm going to be this, that. 2020 proved that your dreams meant nothing because no matter who you were, millionaire, zillionaire, billionaire, you could have had your own island, you were going to be affected by this thing which affected the whole world. So what that kind of has proven to me is that don't waste time.
Yeah.
Don't have on your last day when you're looking around your room at your people, don't sit there and think if only or what if, because that is the day that you'll be peed off. You'll be like, sure, I wanted to set up that podcast, man. I never did it because honestly, trust me, you can do a podcast tonight. If you got
Are you doing a podcast tonight?
Well, you do one tonight, but you could. Yeah, that's true. But honestly, and I'm sure Wayne can probably give you some pointers. You could start a podcast tomorrow evening and just go on there, get one of your relatives, say, yo, girlfriend, we're going to talk. What we're talking about, I don't know, but we'll just chat.
Yeah, but I got real clear. It wasn't about the podcast. It was about me being willing to be seen, me willing to be vulnerable. Because, I mean, really, that's what it is opening yourself up and allowing people to see beyond what you want to show. I got real clear. Oh, it wasn't. Yeah, a podcast, I'm sure I can do it. Technically, I have the skills. Emotionally, I just wasn't ready to show up like that in the world. And 2020 did that for me. 2020, I was like, take the mask off, Latrese. Be yourself. You have a light. You have a gift. Share it with the world. Stop hiding. Yeah,
absolutely. And I share that sentiment because when I first started my online journey and was building websites and I always tried to do it anonymously. I didn't want anyone to know that I'm on the internet and I've got a little business. I had, it was almost hidden. It was that hidden, but no one actually found it, and I made no money because I didn't, I don't know what it was. It was really weird, and it's really strange because I work with quite a lot of clients who, when they come to me, they're in that same place where they've got a business, but they're kind of hiding. and you think, well, what are you hiding from? Well, I don't want people to know my business. How are you gonna make any money from this business if you don't want people to know your business?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You know what I mean? So I mean, I'm glad that 2020 has given you the energy and the spark to say, something, what will be, but you can be you. You know what I mean? So just do it, man. Get out there and just show the world who you are, because
For sure.
who cares?
Yeah.
Some people be jealous and go, but I guarantee you more people will love you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some people will be jealous, but more people will love you. So just go for it, girl. You've got one life, man. Our dad, unfortunately, 9 years ago, was diagnosed with dementia. And 9 months later, 9 years, man. 9 months later, he was in the system. He's never come out. He can't walk. He can't talk. He can't feed himself. He sleeps most of the day. He has seizures. He's going at some point. But do you think if I'd have spoke to him at 55 and said, "Oh, Dad, you know, what do you should, you know, there's things you should do, man," he'd be like, "Oh, well, I should have done this and I should have done that and I should have done this and I should have done that." He was my catalyst for me to say, you know, so let me tap these belts and just get on with being me. So, and this is why 2020 for me has been a huge year, because I've seen the same thing happen to so many people where they've realised that that guy who pays you every month, to be fair, you're expendable. You're expendable now, so go find another job. So the reality is you're putting your faith in these people who actually get rid of you at the drop of a hat. There's companies, right, this year, I guarantee they've made people redundant. I guarantee you next year they'll post record profits. Guarantee it. Guarantee. Do you know why they've made profits? Because they've shed 20% of their outgoings by getting rid of 5,000 staff. So, you know, don't lose your job, but most certainly if you can build something that sits alongside it, and then he's, you know, when he's ready to go like that, you can say to your boss, "Yo, keep that. Just go for it, girl. Got one life."
I'm waiting for the day. I'm building it quietly.
Sniper, your ghost.
You let us know when you launch, man, so we can share the adoration as well and make sure everybody's aware. So,
anyway, what I wanted to ask you, you said you was a little bit worried about like what people would think of you. What is that, like a fear, or like, because like I think if you put yourself in the public space, you got to expect that there's going to be a lot of idiots. You know, there's probably the racists going to be there, the trolls are going to be there, people who disagree with your words or contradict or criticize you. Is that what you was afraid of, or did you? I don't know. Did you get that? Hello, Latrese, did you hear me? Hello.
You're mute.
I'm not mute. Can you hear me? You can hear me, Nigel.
I can hear you.
Latrese.
She's froze. She's froze. Send her a chat and say, "I think you froze again."
Are you still there? Oh wait, yeah, right there. Okay, she's coming back.
Okay.
Hey, welcome back. Did you hear what I said?
No, I didn't. I heard.
Yeah, you heard. Wow.
That's how he normally speaks, you know.
That's how I speak anyway. Don't worry about it.
Wow.
What I asked basically to summarize was, you know, you said you was a little bit afraid of putting yourself in the public space. Was that because of like the criticism you'll eventually receive, or for example, the criticism or the trials or the racists, especially the racists, the idiots? Also, depending on what topics you speak about, you know, you're going to get people who are, you know, going to reject your claims or what you say. Was that what it was? Is that?
Yeah, it was just self-confidence. It was a skill that I never, you know, built. I was never taught how to build it, you know, within our family. Love looked like criticism, you know, love looked like, let me beat you up a little bit so that when somebody else beats you up, you know, it won't hurt as bad, you know. So,
you know, do you think that's a problem in the black
yes.
Mate,
yes,
black culture?
Right,
is that
right back? Remember what we were saying about DNA in our genes?
Generally, yeah.
Where do you think beating was learned from?
Well, it was learned from the slaves, I guess.
Of course, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Where do you think our parents learned it from?
Yeah.
Their parents.
And
where did their parents learn it from?
That's something that 2020 gave me too. When this outcry came out, it really opened my eyes to how traumatized I was by slavery directly. Sure. Because you think, oh, slavery 400 years ago, you know, we're moving on, I'm free. And when I looked at it, I was like, really, nothing has changed. Like, nothing has changed. Nothing. I can't think of one thing that I could say is different. You know, it just looks different.
Yeah, that's it. And change the face.
Yeah. And recognizing, like, the role that I played in keeping it you know, keeping it
Yeah.
going.
Yeah.
Was the hardest part. It really was.
Yeah.
But it was the most empowering part too, because then you can do something about it, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And like, you know, we've said 2020 is a year where people have their eyes have gone ping.
yes, I really
I'm actually seeing the world for the first time.
For the first time, yes.
You know what I mean? It's like because we was on lockdown, where literally nothing was going on. It was literally just, you know, people were
part of my life so far.
Hoarding toilet paper, toothpaste, bloody shoe polish, anything they could get their hands on. And me and my wife used to go for walks every day, go and do our 10,000 steps. Do you know that I discovered roads and houses literally within 300 meters of my estate, which I've never ever seen before, because I was walking rather than driving, rather than rushing from A to B to get to C to C D. I was walking, I was looking around, and honestly, a real eye opener. And I think it's the same. People's scales have fell off their eyes and have gone, you know, something. I've got powers, man. I'm special. What am I doing? You know, being hidden and not. Oh, I'm out there now.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
It's definitely necessary for us. I would say it would be nice if we somehow came together as like globally, and we said, okay, every year for not just for Christmas, for 1 month in a year, everyone stops. Everything stops. We all get away, apart from obviously the shops and stuff, a few small stuff. Everything stops. And then we let give the world a chance to regenerate, and the people get a chance to spend time with their families. So I think that would be such a...
I think parts of it have been fantastic.
No.
Like I say, people have spoken to each other for the first time in 10 years of marriage. What's your name again? You should know my name. Joe. Kids and parents have realised that their kids aren't angels.
Yeah.
When they send them to school, they're angels. When they come home, they're angels. When the teacher says they've been naughty, they're like, how dare you talk about my kids like that? But now the parents realise their kids are devils. So I'd say it's been an awakening. I mean, I work with small business owners, and the amount of small business owners now who have appeared, new businesses who have decided we're not working for the man anymore. We're doing our own thing. It's been a real awakening for a lot of people. So scary times, but you know, it's almost like it's going to be a very significant event in our calendars. You're going to have conversations. Oh, where was you when COVID happened? Well, you know what I mean. That and the thing is that is shared by 7 billion people around the world. At the first time, we've actually got this common thing that we can all say we were part of that, because they talk about the war and all that, but the war, I'm not about the war. I'm not celebrating war. But this event here now, where we've all been affected, for me is like, I think that's something that's also kind of brought conversation and made the Black Lives Matter movement even more focused as well. Because whereas before we'd all be busy doing this, and we wouldn't have, some of us would have seen the pictures, some of us wouldn't have mobilised, because we were sat at home and nothing to do. We're watching this video, we're going, you what? So but it's true, isn't it? Because normally when the world's at a normal pace, you ain't got time to sit down and get angry. I've got bills to pay, man. I can't get angry, man. What do you mean, man? Well, because we were locked down and we saw the reality of what was going on, we had time to be angry. Boy, were we angry. So, you know, it's seismic shift, man. So, yeah, man, 2020, you know, where was you?
Or we were always angry and weren't aware. We were always angry, but just wasn't aware, because that was my experience. I was numb. It wasn't that I didn't feel any way. I was numb about the way I felt about it, but underlying that anger sits, you know, so that's when you talk about like health challenges and things like that. It's the psychological stress, you know, that comes from just always being in that heightened state, you know? So that's what I mean about how traumatic the experience was when I realized it was trauma, you know? And it's not just trauma for me, it's traumatic for my children, it's traumatic for my neighbors. You know, a lot of this violence that I'm looking at could, but you're just saying, people are violent. No, maybe they're traumatized.
Honestly, you know, the thing, and if you think about it, things like PTSD, and now, you know, they're recognizing the things that bring on breakdowns and changes in mental behavior. You know, 30, 40 years ago, then people would have been written off. You know what I mean? And trauma, like you say, it's trauma. But now that they understand it, you know, it can be spoken about. It was this invisible thing back then. Oh, he's just got war. What they used to call it war mind or something. They call it something, and it's shell shock. Oh, he's got shell shock. No, he's got PTSD, mate. He's just killed 1,000 people. And he doesn't know what to do. And you're telling him to go and drink some tea and take a couple of aspirins and you'll be all right. But you're right. And I think in America as well, most certainly because of, you know, the frequency where people of power abuse that power against people of colour. It's like going to a club but not being able to relax because, you know, but last week there was some beef there, and you're thinking, well, why something, and you know, and to have that in a whole country or whole county or wherever it happens, where you see a police car, you literally freeze because you think, damn, that's no way to live. It's
or
no
through the media. The media does a great job of
they do a fantastic job.
Of making you afraid all the time, you know. So I've learned, I call it reprogramming the program. I've learned to detach from things like that because it's not helpful. And, you know, in that heightened state of awareness, I'm not in my cognitive mind. I'm not thinking things through. So, I've made that shift and, you know, try to help my children make that shift too. But I wasn't aware of it until this year.
I mean, I've not really. I mean, I've watched the news recently, but I think I went 2-3 months without watching the news. When this all started, it felt for me like there was some kind of, it's like it was pinball. Hey, we've got 30,000 deaths, and Italy's got 40,000, and Spain's got, and the highest total so far. It's like, well, hold on a minute. Is there a prize at the end of this? Because the way they're going on is like, you know, deaths for prizes. And I thought, nah, man, they're almost glamorizing death. All these scoreboards and which country has the most cases and which countries have the most deaths. Hold on a minute. We're talking about human beings here. You know what I mean? So I just went, you know, sort of, nah. And I did detach, turned off. I mean, the wife has kind of stayed tuned in and she kind of fills me in as to where I can and can't go and at what time I've got to be going to bed and all them things there. But I'm not interested, man, because all the narrative's been about for the last 6 months is growing. It's like nothing good has happened other than nothing good's happened. It's just COVID. You know what I mean? I'm sure there's been some good news somewhere, but it's just about COVID. You know, so for me, it's like, nah, man, it's all right. I'll stay positive in my own.
I don't think there's been any good news, actually. Look, for example,
there has, you know, something's happened that's been positive for people, but they ain't talking about it.
Well, what about let's go stateside and talk about. You guys got the election coming up, of course. I love this topic, man. It's a great topic.
Can I ask a question about this election, Ms Campbell now? Mrs. Campbell.
Yeah, Ms Campbell. Do they have that?
Ms Campbell.
Ms Campbell. Why? And you might not be able to answer this. Why is it that the Americans, the parties, they find the oldest guys that they can? And they say, "Yeah, man, we want you to stand for president because you represent America." Why do they? Why?
Someone younger, someone who's not 70.
I read somewhere today, and this is logical now. Listen to this. These guys are, one of them 78, one of them 74. They're going to bring in policies that are going to affect the Americans long after they're dead. So they don't actually care about what they bring in now. If you think about it, look at the deck they're laden in with future generations. They don't care. They'll be dead.
Yeah.
You know, why not bring in someone who's actually got a vested interest in making things better right now and in 10 years' time when he's still alive? Like Obama did try, but was blocked on every occasion. But why do they find these old fossils, man? Yeah, man, these guys are going to run the world.
And then
I think you said it clearly. It's a political process. It's not about what we think it's about. You know, it's about maintaining what the status quo, you know, what is... I don't see that as being a vehicle for change, because we did have candidates who were younger, who had brilliant ideas, and they just couldn't get support because it's a network and this is how it goes, and you serve your dues and then it's your turn, and when it's your turn.
Yeah. Because I've heard the house where they argue all the time and they say, yeah, we're going to pass this law. I've heard that most of them are in their like late 60s, late 70s. One of them is 89. In fact, one of them apparently live on TV had an accident on TV and shuffled off the stage. These guys are old, man. America to me has always been. I've always seen it as a young country, but then to have these fossils in charge, for me, is like, well, why, man? Why can't Canada went for like a fairly youngish guy. I'm not saying he's a great prime minister. I don't even know what he does. Justin Trudeau, but he's young. He's in tune with what's happening now, and I just can't understand why America, which is a technological force around the world, is going for someone who people who don't even understand technology themselves anyway, apart from one who knows how to do Twitter, but put him in front of Instagram, mate, he'd fall apart.
That's beyond my understanding. I guess you would have to get someone who's a socialist or something, because honestly, it doesn't make sense to me either. Just knowing, given my options, I mean, you only get one vote. You can't choose for everybody. So, my choices would be different. My choices have been different, but you can't affect change with just one vote, So just even looking at the whole political system, even, our last election when Hillary Clinton actually won, it still was set up that
she still lost, even though she
still lost. So none of it makes sense.
and you know something, and that's one of the things. And Britain, the UK, it ain't perfect. But the one thing I will say, and whether it was right or wrong, because some people thought they were a racist party. There was a party in the UK called UKIP, who came from nowhere and disrupted the main two. So imagine it's like the Democrats and the Republicans, and I don't know, Bernie Sanders is a Liberal, and he came in and disrupted it that much that the two main parties had to listen to what these guys. That's why we had Brexit, because this party says, nah, we ain't taking no more rules from nobody, and they mobilised the country. Now, surely in a country of the size of America, they can mobilise enough people to make that change. I mean, I just can't understand how it's so fragmented, how people are so kind of brainwashed by the.
I think that's what it's absolutely like what you said is brainwashing, it's programming. You're told you have two choices: Democrat or Republican, red or blue. You know what I mean? It's really a lot of brainwashing, like when you look at it and try to understand it, and then a lot of the younger people are disconnected from that process because they don't see the value in it, until you get around my age and you're like, okay, well, you have to do something. You can't just be
That's
angry
what they should
about
do.
it.
But young people should mobilise and create their own party.
Yes.
And I mean, obviously, because everyone's got different views, and I know that, and I think we've got me and Wayne have got a friend called Simon. He's quite political, and he's like a strong socialist and everything else. But I don't truly believe that there is left or right anymore. I think that's just the easy thing when people want to vote. I think that you'll get left-wing people who will have racist views, and you'll have right-wing people who will have leftist views. So when people say I'm left and I'm right and I'm red and I'm blue, in reality, it's much more nuanced than that. I think there's a lot more factors that go into someone deciding where they align. If you've only got two choices, you have to go with the one which ticks most of your boxes. So you might not agree on that, and that, but you agree on that, and that. You don't agree on, what I mean? So that's where you've got to make that deciding line. But man, they've got to be another party. Another party's got to come through, man. Even in the UK as well, because like you say, when you've only got two choices, you've only got two choices.
Yeah,
which means you only get two options.
You only get two choices. Yeah,
you got
win or lose.
Two options means you got no options.
Lose or lose.
Win or lose.
Yeah, that's how that's how it feels. Lose or lose. I don't know.
Lose or lose, man.
Yeah.
Especially this time around as well. This time around, I think to be honest with you, I think it's better you stay with Mr. Orange.
A lot of people in the Black community are saying that.
It's better you stay with Mr. Orange.
Because it's so polarizing. At least it gets people activated. When things appear to be fine, people don't engage. But he is so activating. He's just so. Yeah,
you need someone like him to get everybody going, and I think that's gonna. If he's in there for another 4 years, he might be the straw that finally breaks the camel's back, and that's what we need, man. We need it so Black people can say, you know what?
Yeah.
Let's we can't take this no more, man. These guys
no more.
Control.
Yeah.
We need to do something. So it's probably. I think it's better. Actually, I'm gonna say it officially, man. I think Trump 2020, man. Only because he's the guy who's gonna get us out. You know, he's gonna get us all moving, man. And I don't mean like it might be in a bad way, but we're all gonna get together and be like, we need to do something, man. We need to move forward.
Yeah.
This key that we can't get another. We can't risk it.
What is it? What is a shame is that we haven't got moving before then.
Yeah.
What is a shame is that they, you know, if you think right, I mean, America in terms of England, I don't know what your population is, maybe 500 million, maybe more.
No, it's like 200 something.
Nah, it's more than that. There's a lot of people in America.
No, 420. Is it 420 million?
Then. So let's say that at least 40% of that is Afro-American.
How much?
That's a lot of, at least 40%.
No, man, not that much.
What? Maybe more?
I'm going to put
and then put Hispanics in there. Listen.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It's not just African Americans.
You mean with the? Okay. If you was to say people of color, then you're probably talking about 60 to 70% of America. Mm-hmm. Now, if you create a political party which could unite all them different, there's your other party. But the thing is, people are that fragmented by religion, by where they live. By all them guys up north, they're snobs. I would never vote for any of them. There's all these little lines which people have got a beef about. I'm not going to vote for him because you know what I mean. And that's the problem that we on the outside face because we can't combine and just say right, we're doing this for the greater good, not for personal gain. It's got to be for everybody. And yes, you're not going to always agree with these policies, but if you look at the fact that we're doing it for everybody. Some you win, some you lose, but it's getting, you know, I'm thinking of all those people of colour, some very, very wealthy people there who could fund a presidential race, who could make sure that the money's available for the candidates to go out and do what they need to do, but there doesn't seem to be enough will. And I'm not just saying America, UK is the same as well. You know, we're happy to kind of sit behind Labour or Conservative and go, hey, boy, man, go vote for them, man, cause them support black people. No, they don't support black people. When do they come and pay your bills? Well, they don't pay me bills, you know, they don't pay me bills, but they support black people, man. When? How?
Yeah.
What do they pay for? Well, they treat black people good. Which one of your friends did they take out for dinner? And literally, you can argue with someone like that for ages and they'll tell you, you know what I mean? And it's because they're programmed and shame, man.
Yeah, I think it's just some really good programming. I think, and unless you're willing to think about it and think about your choices, you're not going to, you know.
Not going to escape. We're in the Matrix, guys.
We're in the Matrix, yes. Yes.
I'm going to swallow the red pill.
I'll take the blue one. Give me the blue one.
COVID's that pill, man. COVID's like, huh? What?
Yeah.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah.
What are you doing, man? What are you looking at, man?
I'm trying to find out what the
makeup. You know you look like. You know, coming to America. You know the guy who sprays his hair with the Soul Glow.
Yeah.
Soul Glow. You look like him.
Yo, this is the in thing, man. I tell you, man, this is the in look.
You reckon? Lord God, where's my wig? I've got a wig in here.
This is a wig. That's why it's in. The mop. You know, people are so stupid here.
Sorry, Ms Campbell. We've been very boisterous tonight. We're not normally like this.
It's okay.
They always say to me at work, like, you got a bird's nest on your head.
Oh.
They try and touch your head, Wayne. They try and touch your hair.
Of course. What are you talking about, man?
Oh no.
That's why I ain't got no, man. I ain't having no one rubbing my bloody head. I'll fight them. Remember one time, one guy rubbed my head, man. I playing football. I punched him up, man, in his ribs. What are you doing? Want to be friendly? I said, nah, man, don't touch my head, you know. Don't touch my head.
Yeah.
This is when I had Jerry curl, man. It was relaxed. It was all nice and wavy and flicky and that. Don't touch my head. Kill a man for that, you know.
Okay, I got the stats. Non-Hispanic white, 63%.
Pardon?
Non-Hispanic white is 63% and the rest 40%. So everyone else who's not.
Told you, man. Listen,
but then again,
listen. I'm just saying that when you've got them numbers there, that's a lot of votes. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of dollars. You're telling me that 600 and how much? 320. You're telling me that 200 million people couldn't influence politics in a country of 320 million. Come on, man. Of course they could. but there's no will, there's no collective voice to say, right, this is what we're doing.
Well, beyond that, there are systems in place. I mean, you can't put it all on the people. There are systems in place that are designed to keep people, disempowered. So I wouldn't put it all on the people.
No,
I mean,
of course.
I wouldn't put most of it on the people. I would just say when you don't understand the systems and you don't understand your roles in the systems, then, but the system is designed, to keep the power in the hands of a small few. So
because obviously, I don't know American politics. And Simon's a bit of an expert on it. He can tell you all the guys' names who sit in the Senate and who votes for who and who likes who and who will have with Trump. But from what I gather, it is all about money. It is all about who's got the most money to spend on the campaign. When you see those movies where they're all sat on phones and they're phoning people, say, "Yeah, make a donation to so and so mayor," and you think, "Wow, that's crazy, man." But obviously, if you're saying, "Look, it's more than just money; it's about the rules and regulations that go into that,"
and the unspoken rules. Altogether. Yeah, a lot of the rules are unspoken. You don't know about them.
Man.
Yeah, it is.
Like I said, it's going to be 300 to 400 years before men become emotionally intelligent and before America becomes equal. 300 to 400.
Oh, I put my money with that one. Yeah.
4 generations.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, but
seriously.
Anyway, so tell us a little bit about Baltimore. What's happening in Baltimore? You guys got good.
Isn't that where The Wire was filmed?
Yes, it's where The Wire was filmed. And
what a show.
It was a good show, but I want to say Baltimore is bigger than The Wire, and it as a citizen, it frustrates me, honestly, that's all people. Where's The Wire? Where was The Wire filmed? Was it here? Like,
that's like New Mexico, though.
I don't know many American cities. So
it's just like one of my little buttons because I'm like, okay, when production wrapped up, those were still communities that were not better for The Wire. In fact, they were worse because crime got worse and the perception got worse and
So is Baltimore landlocked, or do you have a river flowing through it, or near the coast?
So we're on the East Coast, and I guess for the city, our biggest water is the Inner Harbor that feeds off the Chesapeake Bay, or something like that. I'd be the wrong person to tell you about geography. My uncle loves everything about water, and he can tell you all that. Yeah, but just, my sentiments as a resident of Baltimore, longtime resident of Baltimore, I've just seen how the city changed for the worse because power was given to corporations, and not communities. It was all about what made sense for big businesses and not necessarily for the people that surrounded those big businesses. So I have a love-hate relationship when it comes to, to that.
So what do you love most about Baltimore?
That it is a big city that's small. It's a big city that feels like a small town. When you think about it, like geography, New York, DC, they always throw Baltimore in there. We're part of the DMV. We get world renowned recognition through Johns Hopkins Hospital and different, universities and things like that. But like everybody knows everybody. Like you can literally go from one side of the town and see everybody that you've ever known, So I think that's what I love about Baltimore. That it's like a big city town.
Yeah, it's like just over 500,000 people.
Yeah.
500,000. Wow.
Yeah, big city town. Yeah.
It's really nice, man. Baltimore.
Well, obviously, the UK is so small in comparison to America. I think we can fit the UK and California like 3 times. But then we have cities. I mean, so for example, Birmingham and surrounding areas, it's around about 7 million people. And well, I would imagine in terms of geographical footprint that Baltimore probably covers a lot more ground than Birmingham. Let me have a look. Baltimore.
You know what? Actually, before you continue and find that stat, Baltimore. It's in Maryland.
Yes.
Do you guys have the Maryland cookies there?
Maryland cookies?
Do you know anything about that? Because we in UK, we have I'm in Germany now, but when I used to live in England, it was like Maryland cookies. Do you know about that? You don't know about that?
I don't.
What is tricking us the whole time, man? Tricking us the whole time.
I know we do have a cookie that we're famous for, but I didn't think it was called Maryland cookies.
What? Maryland cookies?
Yeah, so Baltimore is actually smaller than Birmingham. It's got, Birmingham, in terms of the city, has got 1.8 million. And Baltimore's got 619,000. But if you think that Birmingham is like our second biggest city in the UK, on the map, Baltimore is just a smidgen of the whole of America. So, so you guys are more. I say you guys are more spread out.
Well, actually, it feels like we're right on top of each other, honestly. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're talking about Utah or somewhere like this, man. One of these places where everything's like spread. I think Baltimore's like a real just dense population place, isn't it? That's yeah. But a lot of the east side is like that, and you have to go to like the Midwest to go to where the places are spread out. And the west side of America, all the east side, just major dense urban sprawls. Is that the right term for it?
I suppose if you think about the way the world's built, it was all about shipping and ports, wasn't it? So anywhere that was near water, especially on that side, Europe there, you know what I mean? But with the other side now, well, the nearest country on the other side, what is Japan? Or you got to go down to Panama and go through the canal and
Hawaii, and and Japan.
That would have been built up much quicker because that's where everyone would have arrived first.
You're asking the wrong person, but yes, I do know we were known for our ports. So our ports were very important, and I know like a lot of the first slaves, came to Baltimore. Baltimore was a big slave trade city. I'm sorry. So yeah, it's a really rich history.
Yeah.
You guys have any famous dishes in Baltimore? Like clam chowder or something? I don't know.
It would be crabs. So like Baltimore, crabs, crab cakes, chicken boxes. If you come to Baltimore and don't get a chicken box, why did you come to Baltimore?
Look at this guy. I just
if you don't, you've got to get a chicken box. Or don't
if you didn't get one, I don't know why you came to Baltimore.
That's the first thing you got to get when you're there. The thing is, I'm a vegetarian, so I don't know how that would satiate my problem.
No.
I'll be struggling about chicken box. Chicken box.
You can have the fries. You can have the fries.
I'll have the fries. Yeah.
I'll have this chicken. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, so it's like fried wings with French fries, and usually you get like salt, pepper, and ketchup on it. It's a neighborhood staple. I actually had visions of one day creating a restaurant called Out of the Box, because I really think that chicken box is really unhealthy for us as a community.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so getting us out of that little box would be good for our health. Yeah, so that's one of the things. Baltimore. Yeah, I
think it would actually be time for the Black community to change their diet as well.
Yes,
I think we're so unhealthy.
Yes,
sodium in our in our blood is so high, blood pressure. Everything because of what we eat. We never.
Yeah.
We just. But that's the thing. Like you said, they situate all the bad fast food chains in the Black areas and make all the nice vegetarian, organic food places in the white areas. And you're like, hold on a minute.
Yeah. Or until they gentrify your area, and then now
they change it.
And now,
change it right.
now you have a store you can't afford to eat at down the street.
And you're stuck with Chinese food, man.
Yeah, you're stuck with Chinese.
So I got nothing against Chinese food. I like it actually, but too much of it will make you sick. Anyway, is there anything else you want to add? We're gonna wrap up in a second.
No, this was fun. It was very nice. Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Glad to have you a part of it. Wait, what's going on my computer? I'm gonna drop on our theme tune. It's the world renowned theme tune. As soon as I can put it up. Let's see. And then we're so Latrese, you've made it onto the podcast. We hope you'll come on again and share some more wisdom. We always like that.
Come back and tell us when you start your thing.
When I've started mine,
yeah. Start your thing, man. Come back and let us know.
If you need any tips, always free to obviously drop me a message or something. If you want me to come and show you how, but get online with you and show you how it's done. Or if you want to come back on and get some more experience, let us know. We're here. We're always accepting guests and new ideas from the outside. We love new guests. Yeah. Do you have anything to share? Anything you want anyone to know?
No, not at this moment. I think I've shared in contacts. Yeah. So this is it was a beautiful experience. I thank you both for the conversation. I feel like I need to go study geography a little bit more and maybe a refresher on U.S. politics. But
well, actually, no. The thing is, this is not the aim of the show. Actually, that show is just to have general conversation. What's going on? We're going to spend the last hour speaking about coronavirus, or sports cars. It just depends on how we feel and how the conversation's going. So,
I would have had nothing to add to sports cars.
That's how conversation is. It flows. It goes in every direction it wants to go in, doesn't it? It's like...
Yeah. That's the only tip I would say, and it is that if you want to do podcasting, it's probably good to get a general knowledge of a lot of things. Like that's what I'm doing at the moment. Like I'm reading a great book about African history and obviously slavery and stuff like this. I'm reading books about the laws of power, the 48 laws of power. I've just read books about Jim Crow laws and everything. So I'm just like building up all the knowledge. So when people come on, I can just quickly change subject, bounce around.
Yeah.
That's probably the most important things to do. I think if you want to do something like a podcast, unless you're doing a very niche or niche, which is your skills. Like for example, I play piano. I could do just a podcast about piano and speak about that for an hour. I could do that too. But I like to just know a little bit about everything, to be fair.
Well, this was exciting. Thank you for inviting me to your platform. I really enjoyed it. And
you're welcome.
Yeah. Okay.
You're welcome. Thanks for joining us.
See you again soon.
Okay.
Nigel.
Miss Campbell. Miss Campbell.
Miss Campbell. Mr. Campbell, you got anything to share with Miss Campbell?
Miss Campbell, good to meet you.
Great to meet you.
What's happening in my world? I'm just about to launch my online course. It's going to be Monday. Going out to my email subscribers. They're going to get a discount. Love Sales, Hate Selling. It's designed for the small business owner who loves sales but hates selling. So this will teach you how to sell without being salesy, how to automate your lead generation process, and also how to handle common sales objections. So if it's something you're interested in, get in touch. And I will guide you to wherever landing page is. You can make a decision from there.
Boom. And I would say look out for the Blackopolypse documentary coming up this weekend. It should be finished by this weekend, I'm hoping. I just got to translate one more 5 minutes, but it takes so long. When I top, you guys can see what the Germans think of polygamy or open relationships or whatever you want to call it. Polyamory or polyamorous. Yes. Guys, thanks.
I can't even spell that word.
It doesn't matter. The main thing behind it is that people like to share partners or whatever. Anyway, we always dance out, so guys, just enjoy the music. It's just the beat though.